Now, if someone's nervous about safety, what would you say to them besides the fact that they won't get kidnapped?
Right. Well, and those are the questions that people should be asking. And I mean, one key piece is we're not operating where there's an active war or an active disease outbreak. And so we're having to think about also the risk of the project because we're not putting people high on ladders or operating heavy equipment and machinery. These are small scale projects. So there's that safety piece. And then we've got our coordinator with our volunteers. And then we follow the British, Canadian, and US State Department travel alerts. It can be confusing because a place like Guatemala, if you look at Guatemala City, the safety situation is very different than where we are, hundreds of miles away. It's similar to, you can be in big city late at night and it could be riskier situation than being in some other part of the US. There's so many different places and we have to operate in places where our insurance will cover us and where we know people are safe. So we are structured to reduce safety risks. Now, one thing I will say, we can't get eliminated all. Our program in Cusco is at a high altitude. And I'd say probably 5% of our volunteers struggle to the point where we either don't have them work or we take them to a clinic for oxygen. You can twist an ankle anywhere in the world. We think it's great to be up to date on base vaccinations because you could step on a nail or land on one anywhere in the world. And if you don't have the latest tetanus shot, you don't want it to go with that while you're traveling.
Right.
So there are risks. The bigger risk, it's not really bodily harm. It's more if it's just not the right time to bring a diamond necklace or to leave an expensive phone sitting out in a busy marketplace. In most of our program locations, people have materially less. And while they're much less likely to initiate any sort of violent harm, if you were to leave a valuable out because they have less, there is a higher chance that it might walk off. So I would say the bigger risk is something like that. And that's really more of an opportunistic, still rare thing. But our coordinator is really great about pointing out, okay, hey, this marketplace where we're about to go into, it's really busy. So please, zip your bag and put it on the front, so they're guiding people through things like that. But that is not the majority of the time. So I would say in terms of risk, looking both ways when you cross the street, when you're in Cusco, when you have some free time and you're exploring, that's a risk. If you're not looking both ways, there are cars on the street. So I would say
Mhm.
that's a bigger risk than anything.
Right. Car
Car
trouble, hit and
Yeah,
runs, all those things. They usually are. The car stuff is always